We're live. Welcome, everybody, to a Friday. That's right. I forgot what day it was for half a second, but we're good. I'm just getting everything set up. I'm late getting to my desk spot, but fine. I haven't been back in here for a few days after getting the off center. After getting the Buggy video done, I sat down for a day or so. And it was just like, took a sigh of just glad it's over, ready for the next. So what is not ready for the next, however, is this studio. It is the worst disaster it maybe has ever been. I'm not sure. Is that a Yoo-hoo? Pretty close. Adult Yoo-hoo. So, cheers to Friday. Glad everybody could make it. Hope that you're getting yourself a nice sigh of as well. Hello from the UK. Thanks for joining. That spot next to the door would be a great spot for a Porsche painting. I have a plan for that area over there. Two plans, both very different than each other. One would be for a piece of, you could call it art, and the other would be for a folding down screen where another seat could sit behind it with a wheel in front of it. We'll see. I want to get you. I want to get chocolate wasted. Hello from Gilbert. Sacramento is calling as well. It's everyone's like right after the end of a project hangover. Just like and I'd already done one of the moon buggies. So doing the second one was by far easier because it was just like everything was done. I was just it would fit just fine. It would tuck. I looked, and the back would tuck well when it was pushed out of the way. It almost wouldn't even be visible. And I working it out in CAD, I was like, it's like it was made for it. It's like I designed this with the idea that later on a piece of the puzzle that was missing could perfectly just go whoosh. Look who's checking in, Mr. Knight Customs. The literally nothing else will fit currently, but that's why I've acquired the things that are in here, is so that when I made space, there would be like, oh, see, nothing has it's like nothing has changed. Oops. Let's see. How do I do this thing? There we go. Sorry, needed to do that. Nicole can have her blue wrench. I'm in on this one. Dan, you must be talking about the title of this week's live, and that is the fact that I'm ready to do a ProMod. We got the unlimited class 19/22 done. Those are ready to go, but now I need a ProMod, and I started designing a little bit last night, and then I paused and I was like, okay, I need to make a couple of changes. And Brandon did some work for me today, getting me the base set up how I needed it with as far as the configuration of the Vanquish components that I would like to use. So he got me all that. Like I brought that into Fusion. So now I have the perfect base to start designing from. I grabbed this is my TyPro Customs. Oops. TyPro Customs car. I don't remember what the name of this one is. MJ 43 maybe? I don't remember. Or is that the moon buggy? I don't remember. But having this to look at, I'm like, okay, my video is having brain farts. Well, on this side, it's fine. It's hard to say. I'm not getting a Wi-Fi thing or anything like that. So hopefully it doesn't do that so much. I'm looking at the YouTube feed above, and it still seems to be doing all right. Stream health. Stream is healthy. I guess we'll find out. It could just be a YouTube thing because everything is working fine on this side. But anyway, yeah. So I've got this one. This is the MJ43. Okay. But it's bigger than I want for what my ProMod would be. I think it's a pretty good size overall for a ProMod. But I just want mine to be a little bit tighter. Not by a ton, a little bit in the front. The rear is pretty close, but width and height, I want to kind of shrink in just a little bit. I really like the way that this thing looks overall, but I feel like I could attack a couple of those areas and get it to where I'm more happy with it. So that's I was looking at this thing a little bit yesterday to try and make some decisions. Tyler Hancock, thank you very Tyler scored a minty Wraith 1.9 today. Had to vent the balloon tires immediately, but it has decent rims. I'm kind of surprised. You know, minty, I guess it probably wasn't brand new then, but those are not easy to find. Bring Brandon and Dan with you. Brandon's much harder to be able to free up for travel. Now, Dan, on the other hand, I imagine he could decide if he wanted to do that without too much problem. But yeah, I am looking forward to Scale Hero, which is Josh's event. Josh here. But clock's a ticking. It's less than 2 months away now, and I have not started anything. So Jake Hannes, thank you very much. Hello from Pilot Mound, Iowa. Just checking in to say hi and say thanks for the bender. Can't hang out, but I'll reach in the AM when I wake up. Pilot Mound is that the tiny little town? It's got the old abandoned school in the middle of town. I gotta look it up now. It's like just sitting there, this old brick building, just begging to be something cool. So I'm going to satellite view. Maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, it is. I do know that town. There's an old school at the corner of 2nd and Carlson. Yeah, I'm just south of that school. Yeah, there you go. That's a rad old building. I like it. Small towns. You always got to remember something from a small town. So thank you very much, by the way. And let me see Friday Night Live on Saturday morning. I appreciate it very much. Thank you for watching. I'm fixing to take a sledgehammer to this man. No, there's always a fix. Just got to calm your own monthly mayhem. That's pretty much right. It'll just be me and then like 60 people going, "Where's my files, man? I'm trying to." So literally old school. Stole? Did I say that? Did I say that wrong? I mean, I know I definitely say stole. Probably not actually a word, is it? That's just a Midwest thing. Does everybody else say stole? Stole it from something else? Stealed it? I don't know. So this is a great question here. So what is a new 1.9 Wraith new in box worth? The thing is that they didn't sell super well. So I don't know that the value is going to be super high. I really liked that car though. I thought it was a super fun car to drive. Of course, it was, a 1.9 Wraith, so it needed There was things that it needed, but I still loved it. But I always liked tube type buggies, H10, the buggies I've been working on, bombers, wraiths, like 1.9 wraith. I freaking loved them all. Those are the ones that I've had some of the most fun. I say stole them from the UK, and that's how we say it. Okay, well, stole it from me, trading me something I wanted. I'm surprised West Desert Wooler isn't in here yet. Yes. So, more buggy stuff. I know that buggy things are not everyone's cup of tea. So that's a battle I'm willing to fight, though, because I think that they're awesome. So which TIG welder that you bought would you recommend for the moon buggy? So in all transparency, Yes Welder sent me those 2 TIG welders. They sent me the 200 DC, which was like a $500 TIG welder or something like that, $600 TIG welder. And then they sent me the 205P Pro, which is like $230. And that $230 one is for doing moon buggies and RC stuff in general. That is all you need. Get that. That's what I'm still using. Like, I did a video on it. That's all I needed to do. I had nothing beyond that was going to, for any reason, why I should use that over my regular TIG that I paid myself like $1,000 for. So, but I was just like, this thing works just as well. And if people can see that that's all you need to build a buggy, you know, you can get them on Prime Day at times for like $200. Like, just get that. You know, it's runs on 110 or 220. I changed the torch out on it, and I'm running a foot pedal. Those are the 2 things that I do like, and I do recommend. So, but a new torch is like $12 on Amazon, and the foot pedal is like $60. So, the unpopular fact is that buggies are better than all other crawlers, and it's sometimes you just have to tell people, like, I'm sorry, but they're better. They're better in every way. So they're more scale. Construction type is more realistic. It's more scale than your 3D printed Land Cruiser that you've spent all those hours sanding on, Matt. Still a 17 size torch. Yes, I went with a WP 17 flex head torch, and it worked fantastic. I think it was like $12, and you could use all the same consumable parts from the stock torch to just go over it, so you didn't need anything else. That was it. Unpopular. I thought that was well understood. Not as well. But you know, this buggy, I should get this finished up because it actually is a cool buggy. Actually, I got a new hood for it the other day. One that is SLS printed rather than, or Fusion Jet possibly printed rather than the resin print that this one has. But obviously I have not touched that. Dan gave it to me. And I don't 100% remember where I put it. Dan, what I do with that? I don't remember seeing it after he gave it to me either. Dang it. I got pushed around in a buggy as a baby too. The best. Agreed. Oh, such good naps. Buggies over mall crawlers. Crawlers. So I put up a photo on the live stream today as of one of the buggies that I'm considering. And I like this style for a number of reasons. I like some of the construction of it, especially. It's the one that I'm leaning towards at this point. So we'll see for sure. But I think that I'm liking the direction so far. So I've got more to do to try and get everything figured out. And tonight, hopefully, I can sit down at my computer and stare at that screen for several hours and start trying to figure out how to get everything set. Thank you, Jayden. Dropped in on welder talk. May have missed this, but do you think that the cold spot TIG is worth the extra 200 or just buy the $200 welder? I can't say that I ended up practicing with the cold TIG stuff anymore, really. I moved on to that other one and I just kept rolling with that. The other one I gave to Dan in here, Dan Wilson, who I work with. He wanted to learn how to TIG. I'm like, here, you take this one. I was like, I have 3 TIG welders at home and I absolutely do not need that. So get everything set up at your house and learn to TIG. So it's over there, but it's something that I would still like to go back and like play with, see if how it can be done, because it's how like these type of chassis look to be done. But I don't know, until I actually do more of that, I would not say that it's worth the extra. I would say that the inexpensive one is just, it does so much of what is needed for these. Like it'll do titanium just fine as well. So even with that $200 welder, you can do titanium no problem. What the hell? When did this start? Let's see. I pretty much see it all the time. I know, so if I don't use at least 0.6 hard nozzle, it can be a pain. I never use anything but a 0.4 nozzle with the carbon, and I've never had issues. Cold TIG requires tight copes. I would say, yeah, Ben. It would, when I was playing around with it, I did lay filler wire in there and then cold TIG on top of it. And that seemed to work as well, where then you could probably have a very similar, but yeah, tightest copes, the better. Of course, TIG in general benefits from as tight a copes as you can maintain. Use argon, right? Yes, 100% argon is required. There are other gases you can use. I know that there's people that use helium. I don't know the benefits of using the different gases myself. I'm not well enough versed to be able to tell. What about aluminum? Will it do that? No, it is a DC only welder. If you're doing aluminum, you need AC. So neither of those 2 welders that I showed from Yes Welder are AC DC welders. They do have AC DC, but I have not used one of theirs for that reason. I'm sure that they're fine, but not something I've done. My other welder, my AHP 203XI, that is a AC/DC welder. So it would have been last year. Frank, SMF fabricator, who's in here often, he gave me a box of stuff. He's like, better flip that TIG over to AC and learn how to weld aluminum. And I still haven't done it. I'm still like, oh, I need to do it, but I have not. What flow rate do you set your regulator to? So I run one of the Furic FUPA cups, just like it sounds. And it's a great big cup. So when you're running a great big cup like that, you need to run a higher flow rate. So I think my flow rate is like 30. I'm pretty sure it's at 30. But with a standard ceramic cup, you're 12 or so. If you're on like one of like a 6. So the numbers on ceramic cups or any of the cups, I believe that they are in 1/8 of an inch. So 6 is 6/8, 3/4. That's how. Pretty sure it's 1/8. Maybe it's 16ths. I think it's 1/8. So 12 to 15. Yeah, there you go, on a 6. So, but if I'm on the much larger cups, you have to use more argon. So, do you see this chassis injection molded in the near future, whether it's Vanquish or anyone else? I don't know that the WeRock rules, but it's supposed to be a metal. So it is supposed to be metal. Do I expect the Moon Buggy to be injection molded? No. The thing with like injection molding like the H10, for example, is if you're doing a car like that and you're going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to tool it up to become a project, you need to make sure that it will work for, the general public, the mass market, whatever it is. And these cars, where they require has to run an outrunner, has to run this, has to, set up this way, runs a tiny little battery only. Like, most people want to go crawl with their trucks for 2-3 hours, not change batteries every 20 minutes. So rule of thumb, double the cup size for argon flow. Seems like a pretty good rule. Seems to meet about what I've been using, even though I didn't know that rule. Are you going to Scale Challenge West tomorrow? I do not believe so. The weather looks maybe slightly treacherous up there. And I have so much to do. Thought about it. I was like, ooh, I should go up there. But I think that I'm going to. I had a long week, so I don't think that I'm going to. What's the difference between a ProMod cage and a moon buggy cage? Also a good question. The ProMods, when you build one of those, they're required to have straight axles only, no portals. They're required to have front wheel steering only, no rear steer. There is a couple of other small rules. They're a front engine type buggy, no rear engine, like a moon buggy. That's a super minor part of it, because like the scale engine part of it isn't totally required. So there's little things like that, but nothing wildly. Now, ProMods in the full-size world, generally a 2-seat buggy that would look more like this. This would be a very common to see type ProMod car in the full-size world. So I don't know if in the full-size crawling, if ProMod can have portals. They may be able to. Where did you get the shocks for the moon buggy again? I got them from Pricey's Customs. You have to contact him via Facebook. And when you order, you got to wait a while. Just kind of the way it goes. Not much else to say about that. He's it's a small family run thing, and they build them as they can and get them shipped out as fast as they can, but it'll take you a while. So just be patient. But this car, I don't know if this car could run. It could probably run. Links would be a lot uphill for a set of Prices. So I think this one's probably set up better for a traditional shock. I mean, maybe not, but it's hard to say. Do not install a Windows update. I want to run his shocks, but unfortunately, I'm very impatient. Order them now, and then hopefully you forget about it. And then all of a sudden, they just show up. And you're like, oh, yeah, shit, that's awesome. I have been happy with them. They did take a couple of battery packs to break in, because at first they were very stiff. But after a couple of battery packs, the whole car just kind of got nice and settled. And I was like, that's good. I like this. Steve is the dude. Just got Pricey's the great. And the price is so good. They are a decent price. Yeah, they're not that much. I never forget is the issue. Oof. That is not something that I suffer from. I forget all the time. All the time. That's just ask Nicole. I bought something today that hopefully I can forget about for a little while, because I can't have it for about a couple of weeks. So other than prices, what would you consider the best aftermarket shock? You know, I've got so many different shocks and so many different cars. I don't know. I mean, I run incisions on most things, and I just build them how I like them. I've got deluxe shocks on my Sportsman and my Robot. I've got some element shocks on a couple of VS410s over there. I've got Pro specs on my Bomber. You know, they're just kind of depends. They're just kind of all over. Oh, the tractor. I thought I had got a phone call today. I was like, ooh, do I have more information coming on the tractor? Not quite. It's like, dang it. Really need it. I want that. My memory's got the length of a 2-item grocery list. Boy, there's times I sat down on my desk today, grabbed my pen, and I went, what was I just going to write down? Like, why did I grab my pen? I had something I was going to write down right now. I grabbed the pen to write it down. Nothing. Just never remembered it. No idea. You're absolutely the worst builder RC I've ever seen. You have to turn that screw counterclockwise to time it. What? No idea what that means. King Shocks was 7,000 on most of my bike. Man, you got to do some work to make those things work. Yeah. Would this be a 10-day wait? Yes, for a few weeks. I said a couple of weeks, which is 14, which is close to 10. Did you see the K&K shocks? I did see them. He had sent me the info about those, and it makes, like, I get the theory of the adjustability. There's a small issue with how that functions, just because, like, where they attach is where the force goes between. But as you shorten that shock is doing this. So it's trying to do this. So it's just side loading that shock. Like, but I still get it. Like, I see where they were going with it. You were going to write down loose springs are cool. Will the tractor pull a lawnmower? Oh, I know. I still want to build that lawnmower. That's what I need to do, is make a build along for some of my stupid projects like that, just so people are like, get this done. Hurry up. Skill Hero is the same weekend as Crawlapalooza. Flights are cheap to Phoenix. Decisions. Ooh. I do love Disney as well, Brett. But you know what? The other thing is, I haven't crawled in Arizona since like 2014, maybe. Yeah, I bet it was 2014, 13 or 14 even. Could it have been 12? Anyway, I was at up in Prescott for WRCCA Nationals in 12, 13, or 14. So it might have been 12. Yikes. So it's been a dozen years since I've crawled in Arizona. Can that possibly be right? I guess. So yeah. Yes, please. I'll build a mower with you. What company builds your favorite wheels? Me. We do. I do. I have remembered the shock pliers. I've passed those off, but hopefully we can get those done soon. I can show you all the spots Phoenix guy doesn't know. Yep, I'm looking forward to it though. Looking forward to that event, hanging out as well. Nicole's excited. I need to you know, if I spend the money, book the tickets, then it's just like it's on for sure, and I just have to plan on it. That'll be the way to go. So I am going to, well, how should I do this? I started writing down some numbers yesterday of just things that I wanted to, constraints to put on myself. The more I look at this buggy, the more I do like some of the proportions of it. And I kept wanting to shrink it when I was thinking about designing it yesterday. But I'm torn. Like no matter what, I will bring the height down. But the width sure does make things convenient in a number of ways. So I just have to decide if what I want to do or what makes it better. Like for most people, the overall size being a little bit larger would probably be a better situation. If I wanted to put capper axles, well, not capper axles, if I wanted to put H10 axles under it after the fact, being a little bit larger would also make more sense. H10 is what I want under it, but I want it to be more competitive initially. So I want to run it a little bit narrower, and that's why I'm going to run the F10 instead. Is Flex Seal required to crawl an AZ? I tell you what, being that the Flex Seal truck originated from my Arizona trip, was it my last Arizona trip? No, it was the first one, maybe. I should plan on it being the Flex Seal buggy. I mean, Flex Seal did a commercial with a buggy, right? So, Josh, when you're laying out a buggy, do you lay down all the shock, axle, and suspension points first? Yes. I start with all of my known points. Shock angles, shock travel, clearances, link clearances, transmission placement, transmission drive, or drive shaft clearances. Then I lay in if I'm going to run other servos like dig or overdrive servos, I put those into positions. And those can maybe be tweaked and tuned a little bit here and there, but they get laid out first. I make sure all of that is in place because those are the things that the buggy needs to work. So that needs to be there. So that's absolutely has to be the very first things. And then I make sure that, those will fit with how I want, passenger compartment location to sit, things like that. Of course, you do have some ability to change your shock positioning. I have some areas where some angles that I know that I like the best for suspension. I think the most difficult thing for me on this ProMod is going to be that ProMods are two-wheel steer. So I am going to likely go with a shock angle that is more along the lines of what I would want, but that will kind of limit it from ever becoming a good four-wheel steer car. Like if you tried to make this four-wheel steer, these shock angles would not work. They wouldn't work well, at least. You would need to stand them way up to try and get them so that they would clear the tire as it tipped in. Do you ever get things machined or laser cut? Yes, both. And lots of laser cutting. Wonder how Flex Seal would act if it was used in place of epoxy. Might add extra throw tools into the spills. Just try and cast my own Flex Seal components. It's 1990. It's 1990. You can have any 1/10 buggy. Which do you choose? Do you mean like the on road or like RC10 type thing, right? I don't know. I don't really know anything from 1990. I didn't get into RC until 2004. So I've been in RC 20 years now. Wow. Wild. So yeah, I don't know I know almost nothing about vintage things. I just don't. Yeah, I know that the RC10 was a thing. I know that Traxxas had a thing. I know that Losi, Kyosho had an Optima. I don't know anything about it. I've built an RC10. I've built a Kyosho Ultima. What's happening, Dale? Need help with an EC. An EC. Extra character. Emerald client. I have no idea. Any chance you design a class 1500? Is class 1500 desert racing? Isn't 1100 the Beatles? Class 1500 buggy. What is it? Images, image searching. Okay, yeah, two-wheel. Yeah. I do like that type of platform. I don't know that it's, if I would though, it's just, I don't know why. I love rocks. Just love rocks. I like crawling over rocks and climbing up rocks and falling down them. I just, like I think I probably get more requests for things like, would you do a monster truck chassis or a mega truck chassis or a mud truck chassis? Things like that. I get more requests for things like that than I do the others. I just don't, I don't know that it's for me. George, thank you very much. GC Coop 2. I'm looking forward to joining the ProMod build. The Moon Buggy was fun with a good group of builders. It is so much fun to do the build alongs. I love it. Love, but not smoking rock. Pet rock. Class 11 is Beatles, isn't it? That's what I was saying. It was like, it's one of those. I knew it was one of the other ones. Class 1500 or the two-wheel drive, like trailing arm desert buggies. But it's very similar to your group build mid-engine. Yeah. I don't know that it's something that I would dive into. Where do you get your tubing from? Stockcarsteel.com. That is my preferred place to get tubing. Do I actually have it? I do not. Never mind. Thought I had it linked below. But in some of the buggy videos that I've done here recently, I put links directly to where I get it. Stockcarsteel.com. You find it. It's under hydraulic tubing now. It used to be under the DOM section, but I use 3/16 diameter, 0.035 wall thickness. Hello, Thomas. Thank you very much. If you love rocks so much, why no rocks in your studio? You don't think there's rocks in here? There's got to be a rock in here. I guarantee there's a rock in here somewhere. I guarantee there's a rock in here somewhere. Where would one be? Do I have one in the new dumpster? Big Newtons. Do it for Dale. Oh no. There is a rock. It's unfortunately shaped, but it's a rock. Pretty sure that came from one of Nicole's friends. Positive it did. I remember exactly who it came from. That is the most realistic mini dumpster I've ever seen. And it's handmade and artfully crafted, painted amazing. Rock hard. I need that big words. I need the Turks and Jerps YouTube channel, Turks and Jerps. He made that by hand and gave it to me because he used to post these handmade dumpsters all the time that he made. And I was always obsessed with them. And then one day, one showed up, and it is one of my prized possessions. Now that holds many of my other prized possessions. So, speaking of Do It for Dale, did you watch Cheap Truck Challenge last night? Damn right. As soon as it came out, I watched it. So good. I love it. Can't wait for episode 2. Looks like Phoenix RC Crawler's valve stems. Josh, what body did you design the VRD bed around? I think I designed it around a Power Wagon cab. It's, I believe, what I used when I did that, because that is what I was running on my prototype previously. Sorry, hit buttons. Oh, I missed one from Dale. What did Dale say? Check my question before GC poops. Just before G. Let me find it. Let me find it. I need help with an RC and work-related question. I actually get to use my crawler at work. Raised IT floor will drive a string across the building to help pull wire. I need FPV though. Ooh, yes, you do. And you need a good FPV that like has good power. So you need like a variable power VTX, right? There's some FPV people in here who know their stuff. If you're going to do that, I feel like you just need a good, powerful, high watt VTX. Just blast that signal through stuff. Where's like Ritter FPV? There's a bunch of guys who come in here who have FPV right in their name. They are the ones that I need. Oh, why is everyone having a eruption like a rocket? Johnson. That jump jack stand did was ridiculous. Oh my god. I was more worried about that Super Duty blasting through those ditches. I was like, that heavy old diesel engine over top of that. Like, yeah. Ask them drone people, just watch out for their skirts. Oh my god. They have STD in their names. What did I hear? FPV, first person view. I'm a pilot. Do you pilot drones, or are you a pilot? Because we need a fake pilot who flies the little things. It's a cult. If you are an FPV pilot, then would I be right that you could just run Rush FPV max solo 2.5 watt? Is 2.5 watt the most you can get? I feel like he should just be able to freaking blast 10 watts. Maybe I've seen a number of videos tagged FPV. I don't know. Spent a lot of time on YouTube. I don't know. A lower frequency, like 433 megahertz, work better for FPV transmission. You're right, because it would get through obstacles better rather than like 800 megahertz, which would be, line of sight stuff would be worse. DJI FPV. Well, does that one work good for non-line of sight stuff? Because if so, obviously the quality on it is amazing. We need a broke pilot, not a rich pilot. FPV pilot. Okay, just making sure you're one of us, not like fancy jet setting. Speaking of skirts, Matt is losing man points every time he goes drifting. We should send him a skirt for the group. No, because we're hanging out probably by the fire and the whole week leading up in Vegas. So I need him to just knock off that drifting stuff. Unless he makes me go drifting. Let's see, 5 watt usually. Yeah, I thought, 5 watts, something like that. That's the max. Just blast that signal. 5 panel skirt. Jesus. Okay, I'll bring him a skirt from Pro. Make sure you wash it. Yes. So another buggy project already seems like a terrible idea. With less than 2 months left now, we have like, ideally, I knock out the chassis design this weekend and get my laser cut part. So for this one, there is some fundamental changes that I'm going to make. On the last one, you could build almost the whole chassis and then you attached all the laser cut parts. This one, I'm going to integrate the laser cut parts so that you basically need them from the start though. So that puts a definite hamper on my timeline. I need to like get the design done, make those decisions, and get it. The VIN tags will be done for Pro at the same time as the jokes. The VIN tags are done, but I need to get the actual process going so that I can get these out, because that's actually going to be Nicole's job. So, well, the same real fastless checks. I didn't get to do the Jimmy's build. I'm excited about doing this one. Yeah, I'm definitely, I'm looking forward to this one as well. There's a couple of things that I did every time I do one of the buggies, whatever it is, whatever project build along that it is, there's things that I learn and decide that I want to do differently or do better, whatever it is. How about adding rear wheel steer? So I can't have rear wheel steer for the actual event because it doesn't fit the rules. And it changes my link geometry, things like that. So like I may be able to design it so that it can do both. And I may, but we'll see. I got to play around with some things. Actually, let's grab. Yeah. So the optic chassis is a tiny bit shorter than this one. And it's very close to the same width. I mean, maybe a hair narrower even, but the other thing is that I am going to be a little bit shorter wheelbase than either of these cars. These are both about the same at about 13 1/4. Do I have my tape measure? Is not in my toolbox. No surprise right now. How close is the Woods Runner to be used as a ProMod? I would not say that it's all that close. It's so if you look at the back, especially the back of the chassis is basically at the back of the tires, where this one is almost, it's just a little bit past the center line of the rear axle. And then now the wheelbase of this is much closer to what I'm after. And then the front, it sticks further out as well. I would want that to be tighter also. So width is wider. Yeah, it's a decent amount wider. So it would not be ProMod spec. When the Woods Runner, blah, blah, blah. Hard to say. If I do one, maybe next year. The Porsche is the one that I think I could do a build along with next. That's if I could, like, if I determined there was enough people who wanted to make carbon fiber bodies. The hack way, not the Thomas Belzic way. So yeah, this is the hardest part though, is trying to determine width, length, overall height, and then trying to make that fit into the design. It's the Woods Runner feels like a Christmas build. I mean, that's a decent dashing through the woods. I've made an executive decision that all my builds that get the crap beat out of them will have machined rod ends on them. These things are awesome and great tuning tool also. Yeah, the machined rod ends do make for, I mean, you're just like, hey, well, they're probably not going to break. You're probably going to, if anything, you're going to snap a link, which is a bigger problem at the time. You can't just replace that rod end. But for me, like competition side, I go, well, hopefully nothing breaks. That's my goal, is that nothing breaks. I would do things for the Porsche. It helps you have the trans and axles already modeled. I have trans, axles, shocks, links, everything in SolidWorks. Can cycle it, everything, make sure everything moves and twists and everything's perfect. And yeah, it does. But I've had almost every axle that's been popular for crawlers done and like catted up, ready to go. Transmissions and axles, like that. As soon as a new car ever came out, previously, like even like before I was in the industry, as full time, I would get the car and I would model it completely, and then I could design stuff around it, move it all in CAD, design my own stuff. Yeah, so I hear they might be changing some rules around like cage size specs. Will need to meet a certain spec. Yeah, I'm in the in that rules discussion, which I think that they're talking mainly about the 2.2 class, if I remember correctly. Yes. Do people really break rod ends? And do the machine actually make a difference other than look sweet? Well, yeah, because people do absolutely break rod ends a lot. Rod ends are commonly broken. I mean, especially if you're talking about a car that's, if you've got some mass behind it and you drive it hard, you have brushless, things like that. Yeah, I mean, totally. And then the machine rod ends, they're adjustable for tension to make sure that they don't get sloppy. And yeah, they stop you from breaking. I put them on the other moon buggy just to make sure that I didn't have any issues in that way. Let's see. You make any 1/24 to 1/8 scale stuff? I do, only for myself, really, though. My one of my 1/24 scale trucks is here. But this one's got chassis I designed and cut, and wheels that I designed and made, and a weight holding system that I made, all that kind of stuff for this was my first one, which was 4-wheel steer. It's got Super 8 axles under it, but this is not the one I really comp with anymore. It was just my first attempt, and I figured some things that I liked better and went that way instead. Building a new truck in 2 months sounds too easy. Give yourself a challenge. Use those new innovative element portals. Now, what in the world is that avatar? Christ. What is this show? What was the question? No, I will not be using those element portals. Oh my. Breaking stretch and rod ends is absolutely a thing. When I gave my Phoenix to my daughter, she had replaced a couple. Yeah, especially if you have portals. Portals will exaggerate things because it's just like anything. Normally your wheel would be out here. Now you drop it down, you give it this lever arm that is the length of your portal offset. So if you hit something there, it's got this leverage. So the upper links on portal axles are notorious for stretching because they are then above the center. So it's a leverage with the pivot point of that center of that axle. It just wants to stretch them over and over. Now I want pizza. What is this chassis? I missed it. This chassis is from TyPro Customs. So yeah, TyPro Custom, and this one is the MJ43 chassis. This is not going to be my ProMod. It's one I bought from them a while ago, and I built it on a live stream, and I haven't finished it yet, but I probably should. It's a good looking chassis though. It's scale proportions overall. It would probably be perfectly reasonable to turn it into my ProMod, but I refuse to take the way of an easy and reasonable direction. Did you have any science experiments in the first 40 minutes or so that I missed? No, I did not. No, none that I can think of. I'm upping my old timer offer to 2 ounces of silver. I forgot what it was when you were offering the trade for silver at 949. And I remember that you sent me an email, and I think that I meant to reply. I don't think that I did. But I can look up that email again, or you can send me another one. And because, he misplaced his statement. Get the hairspray. Yeah, we're going to do some chipping tonight. Should I get the Should I go get the airbrush out and we can airbrush something so Matt can shut his mouth that I'll never use it? Wait. Oh, a completed tube bender. That's what it was. You're right. You are right. I did forget about that. Oh, you know what we can do? Sorry, 949. It's just a good reminder. This is a possibility, though. But I got my titanium bender parts. Where the hell are they? I had them. I want to swap my bender over to the titanium parts. And maybe should we anodize them first? Yes. Let's do that. Here's a bender. We'll use this one for now. Just handy. I have some of them sitting around. But let's first find titanium. If you were titanium and you were in my disaster of a studio, where would you be? Okay. I would have just thrown it probably. So over here. That's it. That worked perfectly. Wow, that worked so well. Okay. So we're going to pop off these. They're on the big cardboard sheets. But it was on the back side. I couldn't see them. I need a thing. Why titanium? It's much weaker and softer than aluminum. Well, I think you have that flipped. Okay. We do need to do some cleanup on these first, which is fine. Did you make that knife? I did not. I was gifted this knife from a friend, Mark, and it has become my favorite knife of all time. It's pretty amazing. It's an Emerson, and everything about it has been amazing. I absolutely love it. I feel like I want to get a 3-inch version of it just to be a little bit more pocketable. But the wave feature that it has changed my life. You're supposed to say no, I didn't make it, but I put it together. Do you or would you ever make an anodizing tutorial video for aluminum and titanium? I'm constantly polishing aluminum. Have been thinking about I don't know how to do aluminum. I've never looked into it, or never like fully looked into it. So I wouldn't be able to help you there. Titanium is insanely easy because we're going to do that tonight. So let's get this cleaned up. We got some slag. I did not. I'm tired of the 2-inch. That's a 4-inch. Thank you. I apologize for sanding noises. I'm going to need something slightly more aggressive. And I should probably be doing this over top of the trash can, so that it looks way weirder when I'm doing it off camera and in my crotch. It looks so stupid. All right, nice and clean. So fresh and so clean. Why did the tube chassis cross the road? Sandy noise is not as bad as Matt's squeaky chair. That thing is terrible. He's such a nostalgia freak that he won't put up with just getting a new chair. They're talking about 3 inches, now this. Looks good. Looking good. Is that blade CA compliant? It is. It is California. As long as you're not wielding it in a threatening manner. What about scaling the bender for larger or smaller tubes? So I can definitely make a set of dies that will work on smaller tubing already. Larger tubing, I would want to scale the whole thing up, probably like you're saying. It's looking good. One more time, everybody. I did not consent to this. Trying to do it where it's visible to avoid confusion. I think Nicole's watching the Royals game out there and seems to be still not weird. Taking any sharp edges off. Looks good. Feels good. How can I get rims and weight hangers for the 24? I do not have a way for you at this time, although I am looking to try and do an updated design that works a little bit more universally. Did you break out the anchor loop, Josh? I have not yet. That's next to me still. Okay. Feel like, oh, I forgot I got those other. I got the arms. I need to get those cleaned up too. Make sure this is all. We have to decide what color we're going to go for. Well, that's not totally true. The color we may go for may be determined by the amount of amperage that I've got in my power unit, since these are a larger surface area. I wonder if I go with a much smaller bath, if I can concentrate it more to the item. But I can't have it short out. Okay. That's going to be good. Now we need to get a distilled water bath set up. For that, I may have to exit the room. I believe I do, because I need it to fit this. Yes. I'll be right back. No elevator music tonight.
Wait, whoa. What's happening with that? Anodizing?
Yes, it's still water. Baking soda. I got baking soda. Okay. Nicole absolutely freaked when she said, where are you going with that? Okay. Distilled. Has to be distilled water, I think. It's fine. Probably enough. Weird. Okay. Baggie of the good stuff. Still seems the best way to do this is to just, this has been my best measuring technique. 1, 2. We do 3. It's Friday night. Let's party. Okay. I remember doing this last night. All right, we gotta get that stirred up. We'll use a so what you do then is you bake this down until it's just little my brain is full from the last 2 nights. Oh, that dissolved really quickly. Always goes so much faster than you think it should. Baking soda. I got baking soda. All right. Using a knife to scoop it doesn't help, but it just seems so efficient. Okay, so step 1, we're going to use so I am going to don't need this much. Let's take that much. And I'm going to just say about there. And I'm going to remove see if I can get this. Velocity addiction. So from Friday Night Live to SVU edition, Breaking Bad edition. So I stripped back a good length of that wire. And I'm going to try and keep from any stragglers. Hello from the Netherlands. What don't I quit? Okay. Matt would be so proud. What you cooking? I can't tell how I use a plastic bucket for a solid cook sesh. So we're gonna get this, and how can I I want to try and spread the wires out a little bit better. So I'm going to use that there. I do need okay. Try and better put something of some weight in there to hold those away. We'll figure that out here in a second. Looks like he's making a prison stringer. I don't even know what that is. Okay. All right. No, this one goes in your mouth. This one goes in your. For real heat titanium with a torch for awesome color. That also works, but not the same type of situation I'm going for. So we're going to take and start with the arm. 210 volts. It's okay. He's an engineer. At least they won't be orange. So let's turn our voltage down. Not that far. Oh, wait. Is that amperage? That's amperage. Let's go down to 17.91 was the number I had in my head as well. So 2 loops of wire to double the amount of. So that color is raw titanium, as you may have guessed. Why is it moving towards it? It's doing things, I'll tell you that. What color we got? Slightly darker titanium color. Let's just max it. See what that does. Making a nice blue solution in Nicole's very nice kitchenware. It is having less of an effect than I would like, but let's leave it in here for use the rainbow titanium screws. We're just gonna see if I can get this to react to color. That's way too many gigawatts. Everything's turning a nice blue color in here, though. I feel like I'm breathing in some sort of cleaner, but it's probably more toxic than that. This shit is not changing colors. Not getting much heat. Little bit of heat, not much. We're going to try and flow a little bit more current by giving us a third route. Make sure that that's not our holdback as far as using too small of a wire. It's just ozone. Okay. It does. Yeah, it's ozone-y. That's airflow. We're getting nothing. Did I not use enough catalyst? Or do I just have too much? There we go. I just had more room on that dial. See if that does anything. You need to wait a bit longer too. Fine. I'll try and sit here and read things. Why am I getting a headache? Definitely feel this is a great opportunity to get zapped. I don't think it's that strong. This water is blue though. I don't think I've ever turned this thing up all the way. This is dangerously close to a toaster bath. It's only 10 amps at 30 volts. This feels like one of those things that I actually do have to do. Is your power supply set to constant amps or constant current? All the knobs are to the right. That's all I know. I don't necessarily know how to do anything else. It's definitely turning colors though. I feel like it's getting warm. How long do I have to wait now? This seems like it's taking forever. That should have said constant voltage, not constant current. I'm not judging you. Anodizing titanium is extremely easy. Famous last words. Tell you what, if the parts are smaller, they're easy. That's not the color that I'm after. Where does the, just cut off the extension cord? Okay, they're not hot. Just gonna try something. For you, anything with color equals hurry up, damn it. That's right. You are right. I'm like, oh, this takes forever. That decimal point to the right. That's what I feel like I should be. I'm just like, come on. Went from purple and got toenail. I feel like maybe that went past where my intended result was. So I'm just going to check something. Ah. God damn it. We got blood tonight. God. Did it again. I pushed it on both sides and both ends of this went straight into my This is ridiculous. It's okay. It's okay. Nancy has Nicole's number at the ready just in case. Never a bad idea. Water got real murky. Oh, I'm bleeding everywhere. Oh, shit. Oh, it's both fingers. Blood on my table. None in the water, though. Don't worry. Oh. I tried just doing a screw first. Well, yeah, I've done lots of titanium things. I do it all the time. Just never large. Just got the wire slice. No, I jammed both sides. Oh, god damn it, that hurt. Bleeding way worse than you'd think those little holes would bleed. God. Why is it throbbing? This is exciting content here. Can you guys see the steam coming out of this? I'm not 100% sure that this is going properly. We say we just build this bender with titanium stuff. Set the power supply to constant voltage. How do I do that? Oh, it is on constant voltage. CV. Constant current, constant voltage. It's on CV. I mean, this one definitely got color quick. I think the other one maybe I just overdid. Fine. This seems dumb. But will they match? Don't worry about that. What voltage is it set to? 30. It's set to 30. It really hurts. But while there is like target voltages for certain colors and all that, it seems that it really matters based on your blend of how much you have the polarity switched. That shouldn't matter, should it? It looks like a toilet bowl cleaner. Damn it. Velocity addiction. Only you could get both fingers at once. You grabbed her wrong. So dumb. Does it matter what type of material is touching the affected part? It shouldn't, because it's just a conductor. And you're looking for the reaction to happen between the I don't know, anode or cathode or electrolytes. I don't know. I can't remember the names. I've looked at it before. Add more powdery substance. Beer, sharp objects, water, electricity. What could go wrong? breaking bender. That's what it does. It's very blue. Started not that way. Reminds me of the time I got my cousin to pee on an electric fence. So just for example, let me grab a titanium arm. So titanium shift lever, for example. Do not stab self. Can't tell. Here. Waiting. Stab yourself, the cat's name. Okay. It's getting there. Seems to be sparking a lot more than I'm used to. Yeah, voltage is constant. Voltage is not changing. We're getting decent colors where it's is this shirt? It's the shirt illuminated. I think that my mixture is off. Better. What I thought the positive was supposed to be on the part. I don't know. I think that was it. I dipped half of it in there. It's half purple basically immediately. I think that you're right. Pretty much got purple immediately. I think that you have to use the positive on the part. Have I always just got lucky doing it before? You forgot the hairspray. You were anodizing the water. Okay. I guess I just always like I don't remember knowing that. I obviously don't know that. I didn't remember anything. But that why my waters never turned blue? Seemed easy that way. Yeah, no shit, right? I dipped it halfway in and it's immediately blue. Fine. Don't worry about it. Couldn't see it. Stop it. Blue. Anode means positive. Who knew? Not me. Listen, I'm an engineer, not a scientist. What do you use for the color? Voltage. As you change voltage, it will change the color. And that's the color that we wanted because that's the color we got. Your new nickname is Sparky. Go ahead and I want to grab both sides of anything at once or anything. Yeah, I think we anodized the shit out of these wires. It's fine. People worry too much. Negative. I bet I did learn this at one time and just totally forgot. You can probably turn the current back down to under plutonium. Nah. We've already come this far. Let's just leave it up. All right, don't stab ourselves. Why does it change color? It's just a material trait of titanium, and you're basically putting an oxidizing layer on top of it. And depending on how you do it, it is just blue equals 27 volts. Right. Except that it's not always 27 volts, depending on how conductive your solution is. Baking soda yet to be confirmed. So for demonstration, let's take our voltage and turn it down to 1885. We get a very light gold, 24. We get a slightly darker gold. This way I just crank this thing. 30.8, back to the top. We get our purpley, goldy, bluey color. Yeah, there we go. See how easy anodizing titanium is? I bet you 220 will make it orange. If not orange, a really fun white for a little bit. Okay, Nicole's gonna be so pissed when she's. Okay, last one for my next trick. Yeah, exactly. Try one of them Blem SLWs. I don't think that aluminum does the same way. You have to add an actual die for aluminum. Does this work on titanium? Not the same way. No, you need a different solution. Stop it. Barely touched you. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Now we put this onto a cookie sheet. We let it crystallize. And I am declining that dinner invitation to Josh out next week. All the food tastes like electricity. It's called fusion. Okay. Well, this was fun. There you go. Science. Math science was boring. Hairspray. Noob. I think we just made some sort of be right back. Okay. What a waste of Gatorade. Ridiculous. This is a very wasteful channel, I agree. Okay. So now let's disassemble a bender and reassemble a bender. So I do need to take off that top portion. That is a 7 mil. What tools are still up here? There's that. And standard. You just put that dish in the sink with no special washing instructions. I rinsed it out. Do not tell her. She doesn't need to know anything. And I don't really think it needs any special washing instructions. You can't call them benders. Okay. Handle out. Ben who's just uses the dishes anymore. Good news is he's getting a new simulator. Oh, but this version doesn't use, this uses the through hole, so I need to put nuts. Ah, nuts. Okay. So out with the aluminum, in with the preheated titanium. Straight good for new cookware for Josh. For Josh's dresses. I mean, no one's all shit. It's ceramic. It'll be fine. Exactly. It was white coated. It's already got a little titanium in there anyway. Isn't all white based on titanium dioxide? Just making it more white. No, wrong color. Okay. This is a whole lot of effort for no real good reason. Should go ahead and back that up. But all we're doing is making it blue / purple in some areas. Beyond that, this is totally unnecessary. No, Josh, 30 volts is cancer color. Come on. How do you get titanium bender? Do you guys actually want the titanium bender parts? I mean, I can add them. I can add them if you guys want them. They're just not needed. If you want them, it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't take me any work. I just have to say make them available on Send Cut Send. Yes, please. Like, you know, it's pointless, all right. I mean, technically, I guess it's stronger. I don't know that it needs it, but you just want them. Like, it makes no difference to me. The nice thing with this whole Send Cut Send thing is it doesn't matter. I just hit the button. I'm in. Ben was the one who made me do this. He was like, what would an all titanium one take? And I was like, let me check. Oh, we're going to snap that screw off. I guarantee it. I can hear the sound of that. Yep. It's just going to snap off right in that lock nut. Trash. It's still on there. Just shy. I was waiting for it. Dip your screws in lube. I'm just going to pre-loosen. I forgot I had gone around and torqued down all these lock nuts after I had cinched them. So I was asking for that. That's my fault. My bad. Now upgrade to titanium screw. I mean, I'll replace all these screws anyway since we already used them once. I don't like reusing hardware. Kidding. How many 3D printers do I have? Currently at home, I just have, well, technically 2, I guess. I have my Bamboo, and then I've got a resin printer that I don't use or never used. Battery on this driver is almost out with the silly aluminum ones. Okay. There we go. Default driver, best investment ever. Oh, so good. Tighten down on one side. This is why I was torquing them down, is because it wants to tighten up in that 3D print pretty decently. So, which is fine. Let's see. Nicole watched the stream and hooked up the power supply to Josh. She would never. Okay. You're not moving voltage until you can hear it. I like that. I like that saying. Made it all the way to the wall. Bless it. I will say I do like the contrast now between the now I really like this idea. Thanks, Ben. Okay. Put that back on. Oh wait. That's the wrong one. I was like, why'd that go through so easy? That didn't seem right. And that's why we need indestructible tools. It's almost a really nice flame hardened look. Okay. Make sure that's where it's supposed to be. We're in the nylock, so we're good. The arm, the other part. Now we need some washers. Just use I shouldn't have put this portion together until I had those other. I should have put the top portion together first, since stacking the washers is way harder than assembling that base. And I'm going to now struggle through this whole thing. That was dumb. Pretty sure I showed how to do this in a video once. God bless. Velocity addiction. Nicole after live stream. Damn it, no insurance money this week. I had to have one of those conversations with her this week. Like, hey, you need this. If anything happens, there's this, and you need this, and you get just like, let's not have this conversation. Okay. We have time. Take it apart. Phoenix, that's almost like admitting defeat that I made the wrong choice. So the next tool from Vanquish will be a 5.5 millimeter wrench with a nice handle on it. You're right. We have a nut driver 5.5, and somehow I've lost mine. There we go. With that part off, I can stretch this out. I'll rock myself in the chin with my bender handle. That'd have been fun. Thomas B. How's I gotta go to bed. Thanks for the brain food. Yeah, call it brain food if you want. I don't think there was much. This was junk food at best. Wow, that like slipped out of my finger and just went shoop right on to where it was supposed to be. Slipped out the first time, went right in place. Not so much the second time or third. Come on. Got it. Now we are cooking with gas, as the saying goes. Excellent. Josh, what am I taking to PLBTF? I'll take my moon buggies. I'll take NH10. And those will be my main ones. See how far I am on a ProMod. Let's see. I'm going to need longer than that. Yep. Oop. Front row. $16s. Nope. 20s. Oh, and I need a couple of more 30s or 35. Whatever it is. Just need one more. Yep. And positive and negative reverse wants to cook with gas now. Graduated from my easy bake oven, starting rolling 20s on the Brodiator. God damn right. Love me some 20s. Okay. That now. Yep. Make sure these are spinning free. Yeah. So I need to put 2 more of the holes down there in the bottom, but now we have purpley, goldy, bluey bender. I approve. Hot. All right. So let's see. Scale Hero classes, I assume 1.9 is ProMod. Yeah, that's a good question though, Brett. Does it not say a ProMod specific? Does it say well just regular 1.9? Because if I don't have to run a different car, that changes a lot. I like the colors for. I like them as well. Hyundai Designs. Yeah, my username is what it is because I used to ride a Harley, and then I started to design my own parts. Even though I designed my own parts for RC cars, I never designed Harley parts. I just went by Harley. People knew me by Harley, and I designed parts later. Although we did build Harleys, we built them in the, more traditional way. Yeah, bless it. Broke that screw too. same spot even. That is silly. Was Harley an ex-girlfriend? Nope. Nope. My first Harley was a, oh, what year was it? It's a, I kind of forgot. Maybe it was an 02. Well, that's where something's hitting. I think I tightened these up with the alignment not perfect. So it's fighting its way through there. And did it leak oil? It did. So I bought a wrecked night train, which was like a blacked out soft tail. There it goes. So I bought a wrecked night train, and then I bought a aftermarket chassis for it, and I swapped it all on there, and it was called then a custom construction, even though it had a Harley, engine drivetrain. Bought some forks, some Pro 1 billet wheels. It was fun. Yeah. Only dirt scooters for me. Yeah, I had dirt bikes when I was young, but that was it. Let's see if I can get this screw to now start. Where's my 5.5 nut driver? None of this. Nothing is cooperating with me. How's the Gladiator treating me? Bought some forks, dropped a nut. The Gladiator's doing great. It's got coming up on 70,000 miles. What the actual? I think I marred the end of these threads. The brake arcs are pretty sharp. I love my. I don't know the breakout. Can't you use chemicals to color titanium? I mean, basically all you're doing is putting an oxidation layer on it. So if you have something else that will oxidize it, then you should be able to. Do you still have the mini trike? I do. It's all cleaned up and yeah, the end of that thing looks like shit. But yes, I do have it. Well, throwing it. 70,000. Time for a Cybertruck. Just don't tow anything with that hitch. My Cybertruck is on order, but it won't be here until middle of next year. I bought a 2016 brand. First HD was at 07. Fat Boy sold it. Bought a Street Glide, then sold. I would like a Street Glide. I do like the Street Glides. That would be my. I was gonna buy one today. I think it'd be a Street Glide. So, do I have something backside there before I just keep ramming it through there? Yeah, that's what it is. I should have known. I still own my first bike, which was an Iron 883. You really getting? No, I'm not really getting a Cybertruck. No, no, I am not. I used to work at Pro One years ago. That's rad. Pro One wheels were the shit when I was in it. I thought they were just the coolest thing. You can take Nicole for a spin on mine when you're here in October. It would really be best if I didn't, Ben. I miss my bikes every day. There we go. Those should all be nice and cleaned up now. I believe that little burr that I kicked out caused all of my issues, and just yep. Buy another bike, be a man. Oh, I know. I mean, I would love to own another Hayabusa. The Hayabusa is just, I loved that bike so much. You ordered a POS Cybertruck? What away? No, I did not order one. If I was going to buy a new vehicle today, that wasn't going to be a toy. Like my daily driver, I would be really torn on what to get, especially with what prices are today. Like, they're all just so expensive. Like, I would be tempted to want to go like F-250. Do I need an F-250? No. But I feel like if I bought an F-250, I could do, it would allow me to do so many other stupid things. And if I'm nothing, I'm not to an enabler. Oh, I missed. I'm sorry about that. Gigawatt RC. Packing up to take the optic to a new spot near Big Bear tomorrow. I'll see a PLDTF in a couple of weeks. Looking forward to seeing you there as well. 2 years in a row or more. I know at least 2. There was an event happening near Big Bear in a couple of weeks that I was like, that looked appealing. It's a full-size event put on by Toyo. And I was like, oh, but the chances of getting down there in the busiest times, I think I put in that shitty screw. Sorry, I missed a bunch. There we go. Did you go to any motorcycle rallies? Not really. I was pretty young. I didn't really have any money. So mainly just did like poker runs, and I mean, I wasn't even old enough to drink, so like would just go on a poker run, grab my stuff, like F-250 with 7.3 Godzilla. Yeah, like I feel like that's the route I would go. I'm thinking about an F-250 with the Godzilla, and yeah, see, Ben, say it's just like it's a gasser still, so you get, you know, you don't have diesel maintenance. But again, do I need one? And the prices of trucks is insane. So in the end, am I going to do any of it? Probably not. Tell you what, though, the prices of those Corvettes keep coming down. It does appear that it's hard to get rid of used Corvettes currently. Like going into debt with a brand new boat to go with it. See, Nicole would be on board for that. She'd be like, a boat? We're going to get a boat? On a boat? I plan to eventually swap my Gen 1 Raptor with the That took entirely too long. But now we have a titanium swapped bender, which will look oh so fun for video. Still pretty cool. Oh, Nick, by the way, I know I owe you some photos. I have not forgotten, but like almost have forgotten. So, I can no longer afford new toys because I spend too much money on toy trucks. Yeah. That's you know what though? It's like these are a little bit easier to stomach. Jeff, you had to choose between spending the day, the wife, or RCs. How many battery packs would you bring? Better needs a blue handle now. Oh, I know what you mean, but I freaking love this material. This PA6 is so cool. It's got such a good texture. It just feels so nice. It prints so well. Like you can hardly, like it looks like it could be a, you know, a texture molded. Is there a way to put a light kit in the optic? Nightcrawl season is close. So I know of a couple coming out, not from VP, but I saw a couple that were from a couple of companies, and I needed to, they wanted to show them to me beforehand to get some not clearance, but like check that some part clearance was going to fit perfectly or fit, you know, it doesn't matter. So I think that they're going to be out soon, and there's going to be a number of good options. I texted you, probably easier to walk the shop. Hey, no, anytime. That's why you have a Gladiator. Yeah, exactly. What are your thoughts on the new RC drive truck, red and blue? It looks like a very, very lightly updated version. Still like a 15-year-old truck. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how you could be too excited about it. It's still got most of the problem areas. Can you demonstrate how to anodize your thumbs now? Share the info as soon as they're available. I will absolutely put them in the scale news. They told them that, but they're just not ready to. They're not ready to put them out yet. But I think that you'll see a bunch of light kits for those become available. Vanquish should do one, but we haven't worked on one, and these guys are doing great work. But I mean, I have to say, I do love that. That does look super rad. Oh man. Okay. Well, now I'm happy that I did that. no matter how long it took me to F stuff up. Okay. Not mad at myself. Mad at myself for how long certain things took. Say that. It counts as a leak though. Angle finder files. Yeah, so I'll show you what I'm working on there and what revisions are needed left. So a couple of things. The base mount here, it's got a little too much flex, just barely. So I'm going to make it more solid on the back side here and match up with the thickness of the uprights more, so that I can get that like super securely fastened with it and it doesn't want to move. That's the biggest thing. The other thing is that I need to modify this support here, which reaches over and supports the other side of this gear to make sure that nothing moves as it is moving. Like, make sure that it only goes the direction it's supposed to go. So I just need to get some of that done to 100%. I know I said I'd put it up as beta, and maybe I should just do that and let you guys play around with them as well. But I just know that it needs a few things to make it perfect. Or it's never going to be perfect, because you're still going to have, some degree of things not, it's like, maybe the best course of action is if I made a new side plate that integrated some of my mounting points, but I wanted to just make it so that you could put it onto any of them that were already there. So that's still my goal. Maybe I'll still make one that's an aluminum plate as well. I don't know. SendCut Send needs to update a few things on their system still, like being able to add this piece from mine and then this one over here and this one over here and some of your own parts into one cart. Right now, you just have to like click an item and buy it. You can't add other ones at the same time, which that's a problem. But they are constantly working on this. It's still like this whole storefront or marketplace thing is still a beta, so they're getting there, and we're going to take advantage of it. But I'm just trying to get things like, you see it, flex right there. That's what I'm trying to get rid of. So if I can get rid of all of that without having to go to new laser cut sides, I will absolutely do it. You need to put titanium as an option before I order the Bender. Okay, I'll do that. I can do it. So, like I said, I'll talk to them as well and ask about what the status of being able to add multiple things is. Otherwise, like, I don't want you to have to do just the sides in a whole order. So I don't know. I'll figure it out. But Jeremiah, thank you very much. I wanted to work on my truck. I haven't touched it in a month. I looked inside the interior. There's a spider living in it. He owns the truck now. If that was the rules, I'd be... I don't want to talk about it. If anything, the good news is that I don't have many spiders in here. California, not a lot of bugs. One of the nicest things about California. Siri is still beta. You can add multiple items to one cart. I logged in, clicked the link to add one part, added it, then clicked another link. Oh, okay. So you can go back and forth and do it. Okay. That is helpful then. That is very helpful. I was able to put 3 items in my SendCut Send cart. Okay. Okay. I already have an aluminum. Now I got a titanium. I mean, got a little heavier. For those that don't know, titanium is twice as heavy as aluminum. But yeah. So I can't do an all titanium version because they don't have all of the thicknesses of material that you need. But I don't think that it's needed. Well, it's not needed anywhere, I don't think. Could it be useful here? Yeah, sure. But twice as rad. And that spider anodized well. Even mad at the definitions of shaken me. Why not a steel version? It was mainly just so I didn't want it to rust. I have a bender that's made of steel, and it's even here in California, it got rusty on it. I'm like, I'd rather not have that. I could do a stainless version. I just don't want a rusty one. So that was really the reason there. And now you need to destructive test it. I don't like doing that. Especially this. Now this one's done. I have 2 benders now, and they're both work. All titanium or I don't order. I literally can't make it. They don't have all the thicknesses needed to complete it. Does PA6 require a different nozzle than regular PLA? I believe that it says that it requires a hardened steel nozzle and an enclosure. So that would mean one of the, like the X1 carbon, I believe that it needs an enclosed area for temps. So we did torture test the last one. I know. I want to do it again. Do I have any? Was that with? No. This is tubing. This is steel. That's titanium. That's lighter. This is steel. We got that much bend in the last one before it. Before, what did I do on the last one? Oh yeah, I don't want to do this though. Before the last one did its thing. Oh, that one's got a little piece of flashing on it. X1 versus A1, not many thoughts. There's little things like the no enclosure, but Dan, my coworker, he's got the A1, not mini, and an A1 mini. And the prints look great. So, honestly, the bamboos, it's just like, find which one fits your budget and then just get that one. Just get whatever one fits your budget. They're all print well. There's benefits the more you spend, but that can be true in so many areas of life. If you don't have a printer, just get whichever one you can afford, because it's a hell of a tool to have. Oh, that my rocker, I need to loosen up. That's what it was. This is a dumb idea. You already know the support wheel will fail. So the difference that time, that is what failed last time. But last time, so the inner wheel, the support wheel, so you see how there is it's hard to tell, but there is a thin piece on this side and then a thick piece there. If you see the 2 layers there. Well, last time when I destructive tested it, I only had the thin one. The thick one was done out of 3D printing because I forgot to order the thick one. So I was last time I was losing at least 60% of the strength. Now, no matter what, I would not recommend doing this. I would not say that this is a rod bender. This is a tube bender only. But it's still fine. I mean, I also wouldn't mind just knowing. I feel like I'm going to like just jab it into my chest. It's not strong enough. You don't need to mount it to a vise for proper pressure alignment. Yeah, it'd probably be a good idea, but I don't have a vise in here. God bless it. I'm not strong enough. Early no Runza tomorrow? You're going to go to Omaha and not get a Runza? That seems needs a longer handle. We're getting more. All right. I'm not putting any more bend in it than that. Not for the bender's sake, but for my own butt. I mean, it seems fine. It bent it significantly more. It looks fine to me. I mean, I guess I would be worried about that loop. Maybe it could stretch. You know, I could add solid webbing from those up and increase the strength there as well. It did it. Not made to do that though. It's made to just bend these. Disclaimer, don't do as I say or do. Who builds out a solid rod? The Buggy would weigh, but it would weigh a lot. I have built out a solid rod in certain applications before. It is easier in some ways, does make things weigh a lot. But when I do build out a solid rod, I use a rod bender. When I build titanium, it's solid. Like that is solid rod. But it's titanium. So solid titanium is still about 30% lighter than tube steel. But anodizing on the titanium is now the weak point. Full-size benders use oil on the dies. My dies are plastic though. So, or you know, the liner of the die. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. Will it bend tie rod? Absolutely not. And I'm not even, I would need it out in the shop in my vise. Still, don't bend rod. Bend some stainless. Solid would be good for links. No, solid could be good for links. Still not saying do it. Bend some stainless. Do I have any stainless? I mean, I have boxes of it, I guess. Here's my shorties. Problem is, all my stainless is 1/4 inch. I don't have any 3/16 stainless here. The only 3/16 I have is titanium. And we've already determined my reluctancy to bend titanium. Big question is, would Matt be proud? Bend all around. Got it. A scale cheater pipe? I mean, yeah, you could make these arms longer, make the handle around it. Because right now, like I printed this hand. What was that? You all right?
Yeah, I jumped down off the bed and I stepped directly on top of the humidifier. Like, I don't know.
What?
Yeah, like stood at the top of it.
What?
I know. I was like, how would it?
I don't know how she does the things she does. Let's see. Now, will a Reese 99 servo fit into Jimmy's for diff, or is the mount made for something? I made it for the Raw 100, but the guys in the build off did build a micro servo mount, which I can get added to the file update because I got some more files to add to it at the end of last week. So I can find that file and add it. Let's see. It's okay for jumping on the bed. She jumped off the bed was the problem. It was the dish blowing up. How thick? How thick are the handle plates? 3 millimeter? Yeah, about they're 120. And so, what's your thoughts on chromoly? If it's chromoly tubing, I'd be okay with it. As far as like my thoughts on actually using it on our chassis, personally, I don't. Personally, I don't usually find the like benefit because a lot of the times the chromoly that we can buy in tubing is annealed, and annealed chromoly tubing isn't even as strong as steel tubing until it's been reheat treated, which we're not heat treating our chassis. You could, but I don't know anybody that is. You know, I wish you could get your forged in fire on. What is membership price? $4.99. $4.99. Do they even make chromo that small? They do. They do. It's not always as easy to find. But, you know, if you can find non-annealed chromoly tubing, then you're in business because that's going to be stronger. Do I feel like I need to? No. I mean, I do. You know, I love dumb stuff too. Wait, you don't heat treat your chassis? It's in really small areas at a time. Here, and then over here, and then over here. It will crumble. Yeah. Well, that was a successful thing. Super strong still, as you can tell. I've been working out. We need a mini hydraulic bender. I know. We just need a little air over hydraulic cylinder. I always liked using those. It was always so fun. Just hit step on the pedal. I feel like I would over big in the cylinder and just go, shoot, no finesse. But we've got that accomplished. It looks oh so sweet. Oh so sweet. Aluminum one, still cool. Don't worry. But, like, it doesn't look cool unless the light hits it just right. Otherwise, it just looks like gray. Josh, we need a tubing roller before you start the Porsche build. Eric, that was another project that I had been thinking. Like, that's a really good point. I had borrowed Ben's. He had an NWSD, Northwest Scale Designs, tubing roller. And it's just like, it was like $300 or something like that. And it's a really nice piece. It's super overkill, which I also like. Speaking of tubing, but I feel like for as easy as it is to roll our tubing, I could make it pretty simple with a couple of Home Depot screen door rollers. So, but which they no longer have, right? I think I can make a very simple one that will be very cheap, like $30-$40, something like that, to accomplish it. Because not only that, but like, I just want a tubing roller again, Eric, because like I ended up using that like a number of times. I was like, I kind of like this. I'm not usually much of a rolled tubing guy, but like, so so you're making a roller now? I liked using that one you had so much, Ben. Now, Ben's had this super fancy drive on the side that I just hook up the Milwaukee to it, and just run it through. Like, that's pretty nice. So I've been contemplating how I could make one cheap. I just got to figure it out. I think I can do it, but it would be for tubing, 3/16 type tubing. I was using Ben's to roll titanium. That thing will do like whatever. It was built it was built more rigid than the full size like Harbor Freight tubing roller you can buy. I was like, this thing is ridiculous. Yeah. Just think, if it didn't switch that positive negative, you'd still be anodizing. No, SG7 can send elaborate prints. Well, that'd definitely be the idea. Make it send some 3D printed shit, and you have a tubing roller. So yeah, the Josh is called reverse engineering. Brick shithouse is the term you're looking for. I mean, so nice, so overbuilt. And that, if I can just make one that's just like, hey, if you don't need to roll titanium rod like that, could one press tube like a stamp kind of deal? So you could, but trying to calculate your spring back and then like making new ones and doing it, like, I feel like it'd be a trial and error type situation, where the rolling is just such an easy gradual process. You can just do it, check your radius, do it, check your radius. I feel like it's just such an easier way to go about it. It's useless until it can roll titanium rod. You're in luck then. Northwest Scale Designs tubing roller. It will only cost you $300. So, but what if I want to build a titanium Porsche? Northwest Scale Designs. You just have to get it when they make a batch of them, because I think that they don't do them constantly. So now, what if you want a titanium tubing roller, not a titanium tubing roller? Might be able to help you. You said exactly where you go. ProMod first, then tubing roller, then Porsche build. I feel like I need more tools. The thing is, like, who was I having a conversation with the other day? Oh no, it wasn't. It didn't have a conversation. It was a YouTube comment. I think it was from Metal RC, who's been in both of the build alongs so far, if I'm not mistaken. And like he was saying, he goes, these things get cheaper each time, like the build along, because it's like once you have the tools, you just it's not that expensive. It costs you the tubing, the gas for your welder. Like you don't end up in it, 3D the send cut send parts as well. All the parts to build it. It just costs like building a normal truck, or cheaper. You don't have to buy a done cage. They're right here by me. They make great stuff by all means. That Northwest Scale Design roller, I did not want to send it back to Ben. It was just like, this is a really, really nice tool. I've got their setup table. And I had their first version of the setup table. And then they made a new one, and they sent me that, and then I gave the old one to Matt. So I don't use the setup or the chassis table as much as I used to. But that is mainly because of the jig stuff that I do now. I was using it when I was building off of something. So I'd set it up all in there, and it would give me the only thing that was kind of a pain with their setup table is that it's stainless. So it looks fantastic, but magnets don't work on it. So it was kind of a pain for that. 1/4-inch bender for us big boys. It's a possibility. I mean, it's only been for selfish reasons that I did this one. It's just like, I wanted people to be able to build the buggies, be able to get benders quickly and cheap. So maybe I'll look at upsizing and beefing up for 1/4-inch. Are you guys using 1/4-inch tubing? What wall tubing are you using? Are you positive they make good stuff, or are you negative? Might have that flipped. It's hard to say. I enjoy doing the builds to buy more tools and learn to push. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it is once you like do the build along, whatever, and you're like, oh, this part ain't so bad. Then just like making your own stuff, custom stuff on, it's like, it's not intimidating. You can just dive in. Let's see, we'll get a group buy going. That's how Northwest Scale Designs does it. When they do their benders and or their rollers and things like that, I think they did them on a group buy. So if you can afford it, it's absolutely worth buying one of theirs. I do not disagree. Who knows how long it'll take me to do one. I just got my bottle filled today, 125 cubes for $80. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think a 125 is what I run as well. I'm almost positive my bottle's a 125. Actually, the last time I went, they did not have my bottle size. So I was just like, well, what's it going to cost me to go the next size up? They're like $450. I'm like, oof. They're like, how about we just give you the little one, one size smaller. When you come in, we'll just put on your account that we owe you the upgrade back, and you only pay for the smaller size fill. I'm like, that's fine. It'll get me going. So the tube roller doesn't show on their site. I think that I saw it on their Facebook when they were doing like a round or a buy of them. I may have bought a zip tie tightening tool for the buggy. Did it work well? Is it worth it? Do I want one? Which one did you buy? Now I gotta know. I have the Northwest Skill Design tubing bender. That thin is a monster, and you can bend 2 tubes simultaneously. It's amazing. I have seen theirs. I think I've never used theirs. And the 2 tube thing, I have seen people that like that. For me, with the templates and stuff, I don't guess it's not something that I look to have. But yeah, I may have bought 2. I was curious. The one that cuts them too? That cut it too? Okay, I like that even more. I have one for when I was doing HVAC. Does it do the small zip ties, the little 4-inch? I was out of zip ties the other day. I had to go buy a bag of 100 from Lowe's. They're not as flexible as I like. They're not the one. Like, it does cut. Now I'm interested. Because that you're like, neat, and then you're going around. And you just do it all at once. Never even considered it. I do love another tool. I have a whole new toolbox. I got to fill stuff up. Wait, not all zip ties are equal? No. You like 4-inch zip ties. The variety of how flexible versus rigid they are, and like the feel of the click. Some of them feel like super, like barely have engaged, and they just feel like smooth as you're pulling them. For some of them that have like the nice like tick 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 tick, like you find the right brand of zip ties and it changes everything. This is not the right brand. You know who used to have the best? Maybe they still do, but I just don't ever go there. It's Walmart. Walmart used to have the best ones. They were just the right amount of flexible, but they had real good engagement still. Today on things you didn't know you needed, here exists zip tie tightener tool and cutter all at once. The better the zip ties, the pricier they get. Some of them for sure. The 4-inch ones, I found that like they don't necessarily get that the prices don't vary as much. It's just a brand thing. Yeah. Just got it, haven't tried it yet. Okay. All right. I'll allow that. How do I copy? I cannot copy. Oh, wait, it's over here. I can do it here. Oh, look at that thing. For zip ties up to 1/4 inch. Ooh, okay. Ooh, blue and I'm doing blue. Oh, it's got a little tensioner adjuster thing at the bottom. All right. Added to cart. Make it so. Who knew zip ties had a cult following? Oh, you get the good ones. I get thousands from work. If any of y'all need a fleet of zip ties, let me know. Yep. I think I ordered 2,000 the other day. Oh, I bet they're here. I wonder what Nicole did with them. Maybe that's what all that ruckus was about. The 2-foot zip ties can be used for a lot of things. Those, we used to use those as well when I was in engineering, and we had these camera setups that we had built, and we would go put them on poles for observation of a driveway or an intersection or whatever it may be. And we'd use those big HVAC zip ties around a pole or whatever. And it's just like these like you just walk up behind somebody and go whoosh, whoosh, and you terrifying. use zip ties on a daily basis. They are not all equal. The other thing is you got to make sure you find the good ones that are also the right color. I don't like the clearish, like white zip tie. Ugh. It got to be a black zip tie. Got to be black. I just saw an ad on MSN about Matt's Datsun Rally video. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it was on Jappelnick today. I was like, that is super rad. If you guys like, I told him when it came out, I was like, it is a shame that this video will not get the appreciation it deserves. And now maybe it will. So, because it was such a good running video. It was ridiculously good. What is it? Whatever it's called. What I call it? Jalopnik, whatever. Jalopnik is what I call it. Chapel. I don't know. Whatever. Jalopnik. Whatever I said. That's the right way to say it. I use yellow on all my electronics, black on everything else. 2 different colors. Nope, I can't do it. I don't like it. I use 24-inch zip ties from Harbor Freight to keep the airbox closed on my Subaru. Oh, well, this has been a. I didn't accomplish a goddamn thing tonight other than this bender. Win some, lose some. I'm pretty happy about the bender though. That coloring looks sick. Nick. I heard you. Whatever. All right, I'm gonna do some design work tonight. I got a ProMod to build. Although Brazen Brett's got me thinking I need to go look at the class rules for the old Scale Hero to make sure. I mean, either way, I need to do a ProMod. But did a lot of bullshitting. You get a good look at T-bone steak by sticking your head up a bull's ass. But good night, everybody. Thank you for joining. Yeah. And let's see. And thank you. Have a good weekend. Appreciate it, everybody. We'll talk to you all soon.